everyone, today is an indoor project day and we're going to be working on vision boards for 2022. I have COVID brain and have lost the ability to tell time. I have never made a vision board. Well, that's not true. I did make a vision board, gosh, it must have been 2 or 3 years ago now. I made a vision board that was a mixture of garden and baby. Because if you haven't seen my boo bag video, we have dealt with infertility for 5 years, and so I thought maybe there's something to this vision board thing, and I just need to put pictures of a baby and pictures of really pretty gardens on my vision board, and all of a sudden it'll come true. That was my phone background for months, and you know what? Still no babies, so I don't think that was the trick to the infertility, but I do think a vision board will help me keep in mind the style I want and the look I want for the garden space, for the flower garden, for the vegetable garden, the production garden, and all of the structural plants, the trees and things like that. So for this vision board, it's less of a willing into reality than my previous experience with a vision board, and more about just having a general idea and aesthetic of what I want for the garden space. And I think that's really important. I have a lot of things saved on. Sadie's thing is grunting. Can you hear her? Don't worry, we'll wait till you're done. What I was saying is that for me, this vision board is more about keeping my total vision in mind rather than having specific goals. So a lot of people will put on their vision board, I want to buy a house or own a Mercedes or fly to Italy. They'll have very specific goals, whereas mine will be, this is what I'm working towards and want to continue working towards throughout the new year. So that's slightly different. And of course, Moom's now wants in. It's like a circus here. Okay, Sadie has grunted her grunts. Mooms is going to get her food. Walter is napping. Oh my goodness, just hopefully no one needs anything else. The other thing that's unique about the vision board I have planned is that it is adjustable. So I know that a lot of vision boards use paperboard, I think, something like that, and you glue on the images that you want. And I have not really liked those, and I wouldn't really display those around my space if I had maybe a dedicated office space that wasn't also guest space. Maybe I would, but I don't generally like that look, and so I wanted to do something that was pretty and artistic and also adjustable as I got new ideas to come in. So I will show you what I got. I found this at an antique store for $10 and I am pretty darn happy with it. I'll show you what I'm using. So this is what I found at an antique store for $10 and I loved it. They just repurposed a frame and put in some pin cushion board. I don't know what this is called, but it's this spongy material that I can use pins on and hang up my cutout images. And it's just a pretty way to display it. So I am using this. And I also like that as my vision adjusts and grows, because inevitably it will, you know, we change over time, I can reuse this and just put different ideas in there. I also picked this up at the antique store. Clearly it's not that antique. It's antique as of March 2018. So it's not actually antique, but it was at the antique store and it had a lot of images that called to me in terms of the aesthetic I wanted. So I thought I would use this for my garden photos, and there's also a few home photos in here as we continue to renovate our house and, universe willing, finish the front of it next year. Please let us finish the front of it next year. As we continue to do that, I'll also probably add in a few house vision ideas for the board as well. I thought I would bring you along, show you what I do, show you the photos I pick out, how I place them on the board, and what the end product looks like. So if you're looking for 2020, you might consider this option, which allows you to modify it as you decide your ideas change or grow over time. Sage just decided she needed to reposition the camera. So I think I have what my main pieces will be for this particular vision board, and I will show them to you before I start putting them on. First one I have is just a little potting bench with pots on it and tools, and I really want a potting bench. I don't have one, and so I do, if you've seen any of my videos, I do a lot of my potting just out in the yard, which is fine, that's not a problem, but I would love a potting bench if I could get one, so that is on my wish list. Then I have a piece with a little corner sticking off of it. Gotta cut that off. A little outdoor entertainment area. If I could be outdoors 24/7, that would be fantastic. Currently, we don't have any space outdoors other than, I guess, the greenhouse. Technically, we have the greenhouse, but other than the greenhouse, we don't have any space outdoors that is covered, which means for about 6 months, 4 to 6 months, depending on the year, out of the year, we can't host anything outside. We can't eat dinner outside. We can't do most things outside that require a covered space. So I would love to get that gazebo up and running in the garden so that we can have a space to enjoy even when it's raining. This one I did a rather shoddy job of cutting, but that's okay. And this is on my vision board because boy oh boy, do I miss having a bathtub and do I want a bathtub, and let 2022 be the year that we get a bathtub back in this house. This next one is just indoor flowers. I cannot wait to have a cut flower garden so that I can bring the flesh flowers. Ha ha ha, that's what I do for Halloween. Fresh flowers. I can't wait to have fresh flowers that I can put in the house regularly. I got a taste of that this year with the pollinator garden and with the cut flowers that I just kind of sprinkled, the seeds that I sprinkled into the ground that are kind of growing again. And I loved that. I loved being able to go out into the garden, cut flowers and bring them inside and just bring that pop of color and bit of summer and spring into the house. That was one of my favorite things. So I definitely want to have a cut flower garden in the reworked garden space, and this picture represents that. This is a greenhouse. It's a permanent sturdy greenhouse. I love the greenhouse we have now, and I would recommend it to anybody so far, 2 months in. I would recommend it to anybody who's looking for a temporary greenhouse, but I want a permanent greenhouse. I want one that's made of glass. I want one that I can go out and drink my tea in while working on plants, and it's just this beautiful structure that is a space for me to have some quiet and solitude while I work with plants. So that is what this picture represents. I understand that it's very unlikely it will happen in 2022, so maybe it's cheating that I'm putting it on the 2022 vision board, but you know, it never hurts. And then my last photo, the last picture that I have that I want to include is this window box, this photo of a window box. I love window boxes. I love how they soften up the look of a house, and I would love to have some on the front of our house. It's gonna take some convincing because my husband does not like the idea of window boxes potentially causing rot issues or anything like that with the siding that we just put on. So I'm not sure if I will get my window box on the house, but if I don't get it on the house, then I will likely get it on the potting shed and or the greenhouse, depending on how those are built. And so as long as I get a window box, I guess I'm happy. It doesn't have to be on the house. And the very last thing I cut was not a photo, but it is kind of the motto I've been using for this house and the garden space as we worked through it. And it's called, or not called, but it says, do it yourself chic. And that has been my motto for this entire space. So I'm including it on my vision board. So now let's put it together. All done. It was a really quick, easy project, and I did everything as a temporary holder. Like I said, I like the ability to change it out if I see something new that I like, or I change my vision of what I want going on. But this is what the end result looks like. And I think it turned out pretty well. This frame has actually been hanging on our wall empty. Fortunately, I think the backing was decorative enough that it didn't look too odd on our wall. But now there are some items on it that make it look intentional and more purposeful, and it's pretty. I really like how it came out. I like the colors on this frame, and I like the pictures that are on it. So I'm going to happily hang this over by our couch, and I will change it out as I see fit. But right now I really like the look of it, and I like what it represents, and I like the goals that it represents for this upcoming year. This clearly represents mine. It is flowers in a tub. Those are I have big dreams. I have big dreams for 2022. Flowers in a tub. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button down below. Subscribe. Let me know in the comments what your 2020 goals are. What's your #1 goal for 2022? I said 2020. This is how time has screwed with my head. It is 2022 coming up, and I'm still saying 2020. Let me know in the comment section what you're doing for goals in 2022. Do you make goals? Do you make New Year's resolutions? What is your goal or end game for 2022? I noticed that a lot of my goals that I have right now, I don't have them in 2 months. I'm ADD, so that's one thing to keep in mind when I say that, but I am sure other people may have that same trend where they don't prefer to set goals just because their goals change so frequently. So that is why my goal vision board is all about flexibility and being able to change. Until next time, I will see you in the next video. Actually, so dark. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's so fancy. You good there? Man, outside I have planes, inside I have dog collars. It never hurts to reach for the, what is it? Reach for the moon and you land among the stars, except it's kind of the opposite because the moon's closer than the stars. Anyway.